I'm United States Senator Bill Haggard. And this evening, I just walked off the Senate floor, having passed the first major piece of legislation in the crypto industry, our stablecoin bill, the Genius Act. This is going to open the door for innovation in America like we've never seen before. This is an inflection point, moving the United States of America into the digital age. This stablecoin bill is the first step in making certain that the dollar remains the dominant currency in the world as we move into the digital age. The efficiency that this will bring by moving payments onto the blockchain is going to increase efficiency, it's going to take a lot of cost out of the system, and it's going to make the American dollar the dollar of choice.
Wow, this is a major step. We reported on this yesterday in regards to the embracement of cryptocurrencies. And you guys will all know, certainly if you've watched me for any length of time, that I ultimately believe everybody is going to be using public DLTs in day-to-day life without even knowing so. And you really want to be, or personally, I am trying to be, investing in the cryptocurrencies that are going to enable tomorrow's world or the digital age, as Bill Hegarty spoke about there himself. But yesterday was indeed a huge day, and I've got some huge news to share with you all. On the back end of the Genius Act being passed yesterday, and it literally just took place yesterday, this is what Scott Bessent, who's the Treasury Secretary, had to say. Now, him, David Sachs, and anybody who is of any official position as it relates to these matters has came out and essentially said, we're going to adopt stablecoins. We're going to do that to propagate the US dollar globally, democratize it, and we're going to do that to introduce a purchaser to the treasury markets, which are struggling right now to catch a bid. And in doing so, they kind of take everyone directly to the Fed and the government, if you will. But that's for a different video. But here's what he had to say on this matter specifically. Recent reporting projects that stablecoins could grow into a $3.7 trillion market by the end of the decade. The scenario becomes more likely with the passage of the Genius Act. Now, stablecoins today sit at roughly, I think it's about 250 billion, if that. So that's a 10, 15x projection from where they currently are. And actually, there has been a correlation between stablecoins market cap and the cryptocurrency space historically. Let's show you that. You know, this is ultimately, stablecoins might not on the surface of things seem bullish for crypto, but let me tell you, they truly are. I'm going to go ahead and take the draw off this. We're going to put it on a monthly time frame, and we're going to put USDT, let's get that right, USDT market cap. Now, is this just a coincidence, or is there something going on here? The crypto market moves very much in sync with stablecoins, just like assets very much move in sync with the monetary supply. So the supply of stablecoins has been a very bullish historic catalyst for the cryptocurrency space, certainly Bitcoin. And we're obviously looking at this through the lens of Bitcoin. You can see these very much move together. And as we see that explosion in stablecoins, I think crypto is going to go with it. Certainly the altcoin sector, in my opinion, is best positioned to benefit from all of this. Let's continue to read what he has to say. A thriving stablecoin ecosystem will drive demand for private sector for US treasuries, which back stablecoins. The newfound demand could lower government borrowing costs and help rein in the national debt. It could also on-ramp millions of users across the globe to the dollar-based digital asset economy. It's a win-win for everyone involved, the private sector, the treasury, consumers. These are the fruits of smart, pro-innovative legislation. I have consistently said that crypto is too divinely positioned to not have been planned from the start in regards to being the rails upon which a new financial system is ran upon. And this is going to take place on public, not private. Some of the public DLTs that we talk about today, this is going to take place on, not the private ones. In fact, and we're going to go over to it in just a second, JPMorgan, yes, that's Jamie Dimon, the kind of Bitcoin critic Jamie Dimon from JPMorgan. He met with the Crypto Task Force today. And guess what the topic was? It was reviewing the potential impact of existing capital markets actively migrating onto public blockchains. With my Patreons yesterday, I highlighted where we were in regards to the real-world asset transition onto on-chain. We haven't even started it yet. You're talking a handful of billion in regards to real-world assets. I mean, there's only really one stock that's even been tokenized, and that's Exodus on Algorand. There are hundreds of trillions of dollars that are going to be moved on chain and enabled by public distributed ledgers, and this is a major step towards that. I personally have my favorites in regards to all of this, because the people behind them are the same people that were behind PayPal. You know, the kind of PayPal mafia is here in the cryptocurrency space. And the annoying fact of all this is all taking place at a time when retail don't want to know, because they can't see the bigger picture, because they're not in the know. Well, I believe with technical analysis, we can help people get on the side of insiders. That's what we've always done this for. The Genius Act, and it's worth me noting this, is furthering, in my opinion, digital surveillance and captivity. This is the Genius Act summarized. And let's dive into this. It says, who can issue stablecoins? Permitted payment stablecoin issuers, insured depositories or its subsidiaries, federal qualified issuers or state qualified issuers. Ability or qualifications factors. Ability to meet reserve requirements, previous felony offences, competence, experience and integrity of officers, one-to-one backing of Federal Reserve balances, cash, demand deposits or treasury instruments. Rehabilitation is generally banned. Redemption and disclosure. Clear producers for timely redemptions. Issuers must publish a monthly audit reserve report plus annual independent audits. Can't market stablecoins as legal tender or FDIC insurance. Preemption, federal license. We don't really want to get into all this. One thing I do want to do is the AML BSA compliance. Issuers and custodians must be able to freeze tokens on lawful orders. Treasuries may block non-compliant foreign stablecoins. So they're going to be able to freeze your money whenever they want. They can already kind of do it, to be quite honest. You can get debanked quite easily here in the Western world, but they're going to be able to do that globally. I do think what we're also seeing is a kind of move away from the dollar due to sort of geopolitical issues raising concerns with the dollar and its kind of non-neutral status as a world reserve currency. It can be very much be a tool against currencies. I think that's why you're seeing the runs for gold and potentially going to see it for silver. Something monumental is coming. You can tell I'm almost struggling to keep up with the things that are going on in my brain right now, verbally, because there's that much taking place. It's all happening. And again, I want to impress the sad nature of the fact of where retail is currently at. They don't care. This was extremely interesting. JPMorgan met with a crypto task force today, a government crypto task force. Guess what one of the topics was? Reviewing the potential impact of existing capital markets actively migrating to public blockchains. Read that again. So the agenda, overview of existing business footprints, including repo on existing JPMC platform of digital financing and digital debt services, additional discussion on the potential competitive angle as markets evolve. Area of analysis, reviewing the potential impact of existing capital market activity migrating to public blockchains. If you've studied the internet, they initially tried to make it private and not public. That just simply wasn't going to work. It had to be open source so that everybody could contribute to it and you could have this global internet. The same thing applies to the internet of value, which is currently being formed. And we're at the first innings of that. Look at the companies that have enabled the internet and the digital world that we live in today. They are trillion-dollar companies. Some of your layer one blockchains are on a similar trajectory outside of Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, is going to 20%. That's the call we're making here on the channel. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. Future engagement with the task force, it mentions a number of individuals. This was something very interesting. We're thrilled to support JPMorgan with JPMD. Coinbase is all in on helping banks and financial institutions embrace digital assets, powering their products with our infrastructure and markets. JPMorgan is bringing banking on chain. This is their blockchain by JPMorgan is launching JPM, a US deposit token for institutional clients on Base. Isn't it interesting how now this is passed, they're all doing this. They've all been looking to do this for a long time. They've just waited for that green light, and they're very well positioned to enable what's coming. And we know JPMorgan are going to do this on public blockchains. There's going to be an interaction of things taking place. It will be the first token of its kind to be on a public blockchain, enabling fast, secure 24/7 money movement between trusted parties. This technology isn't getting adopted because it's just cool. It's getting adopted because it is a technological innovation and revolution. This is also from Coinbase. Coinbase is seeking to approve to offer tokenized equities. Is a huge priority according to Paul Grewal. Space is evolving quickly. And this is extremely interesting. Every asset is going to be on chain, and that's Larry Fink himself that has said that. And I do believe that's coming. We're moving towards this global world. There's lots of things happening with the sort of banking sector. US plans to ease capital rules limiting banks' treasury trades. US banking regulators plan to reduce the enhanced supplementary leverage ratio by up to 1.5 percentage points for biggest lenders, which could lower their capital requirements. So they're lowering capital requirements to issue essentially financial instruments even more so. The top US bank regulators plan to reduce the key capital buffer by up to 1.5% for the biggest lenders after concerns that it's constrained their trading in the 29 trillion treasury market. Treasury market's suffering, they need a plan, and crypto is it. And if you can't see that yet, I don't know what to say. And people are too focused on day-to-day, short-term, nonsense price action that should really just be ignored. I love this saying, right? Maybe it was Gordon Ramsay that said this, who knows? If you can't handle the heat, leave the kitchen. Stop turning up day in, day out and complaining about being in the cryptocurrency space. I know it's hard, guys. This is my third cycle now. I had a full head of hair when I started. If you can't handle the heat, if you're unhappy in the cryptocurrency space, leave it. Why do you turn up day in and day out to complain about being in a space that right now, if you can't see how obvious it is in regards to the trajectory of this space, I don't know what to say anymore. And I'm speaking to an exceptionally small amount of people there, because the majority of people really understand what's going on and are just as excited as I am, see the opportunity and see the fact that it walks, talks, and quacks like a duck. When it does that, guys, it's a duck. When it comes to crypto, you guys all know the plan. I personally think that Bitcoin, we've got Jerome Powell speaking today on the back end of the Fed's meeting. I think this could squeeze into a little bit of a continuation pattern. I don't think the altcoin sector looks bad at all. I think the stage is set. I think people are constantly saying, this time's different. Altcoins haven't done anything. Well, look at the last time we saw altcoin dominance or Bitcoin dominance. It took 1,085 days to top out. Today, we've only been going for 1,015. And all the legislation, it's almost repeating. You will get an alt season, and eventually I do believe Bitcoin dominance comes down to sort of 20%. That's a call I'm making here. It's not going to happen overnight. We're going to get people that will show up next week and say, see, that didn't happen. Okay. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. There's never been, and I say this every day, a better time to be in the cryptocurrency space. I'm saying that because I truly believe it. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you all. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you all soon.